Today the date is 5th February 2026, and that is in Spanish will be it's El Cinco de Febrero. So El Cinco de Febrero, and the day is Thursday, so that will be Jueves. And while I was uploading the video yesterday, I came upon this realization that I'm wasting time on this editing and all, trying to remove background, trying to make this adjustment in the contrast and brightness, saturation, temperature, white, black, balance, sharpness, and whatever. So I came upon this realization that I'm wasting my time because I would be focusing on learning more and making things better for myself rather than trying to do the edit in order to get the people's validation. And I forgot at the same time why I started my journey. So it was my journey, it is my journey, and it will be my journey, and I would be working for my betterment, and through this process I might be inspiring some of you, many of you. I don't know about this, but so I decided that I would not waste my time on editing. I would just try to make it raw, and that way you would be able to see the progress day by day, how my skin is looking, how my face fat is looking, what changes I am getting, my fluency, my accent, and the way I speak, whether it's stuttering or it has that flow. So you will be seeing everything, whether I'm able to memorize what I was talking about, or whether I have to look into the notebook. So you will see all the flaws that will be there, and with time I will improve on them, because usually what happens is that I do the cutting part. I cut the part when I make the blunder, when I don't see that I did up to the mark, and so I cut that part. But now that I've decided to keep it raw, so you will be seeing everything, whether I'm forgetting the lines or forgetting the points. So that will be there. The other thing that I want to talk about is that now that I realize why billionaires wake up so early, because I wasn't finding the right time to work on myself. I wasn't finding the right time to improve and to record, because usually it gets so noisy with all the distractions. And so I now realize why billionaires wake up at 4 a.m. because they get the time for themselves. They get the time to meditate, the time to relax, the time to exercise and work on the important aspect of their business or work. And so that is what I did. I woke up at 3:50 a.m. in the morning, and after that I worked on myself. I tried to improve. I tried to make myself a bit calm. So that is there. And also I made a lemonade, and I drank it, and there's still a cup left, and I made it without sugar. So that is there to detox. The other thing that I want to talk about is that usually I make videos very short, within 15 minutes, within 10 minutes. I try to make that short so that people don't get bored, or it doesn't gets very time consuming for others. But then I realized that I'm here to talk, I'm here to tell what I have learned, to explain, to teach myself and you at the same time, because it would be beneficial for all of us. I will get the active recall, I will do the active recall, so it will solidify my learning. At the same time, you will get to know things from my perspective and from my jotting down the points. And so I will make video whatever time it takes. Maybe it takes 40 minutes, 50 minutes, 30 minutes, 20 minutes, I don't know. I will speak, and when I get satisfied that I have completed this, whatever I'm talking about, so I will close the camera. And so, and the other point that I want to talk about, because what I want to tell you is that it's been 12 days since I have started becoming a billionaire. I started my journey on becoming a billionaire, and what I realized after contemplating on my other videos, previous videos, is that I have a smile that is not symmetrical. So when I smile, my mouth turns left, and so it looks kind of a disability. And so I don't want it. I want my smile to be symmetrical and perfect. Or when you try to pursue perfection, then it becomes better at least. And so when I talk, it's usually like this. So the smile goes left side, and so I'm gonna work on my smile and trying to make it symmetrical. I'll do the facial yoga, face yoga. I have added it to my watch list, and I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna make the improvement. So with time you will be seeing my improved smile. So let's hope and believe that that will happen very soon. Now coming on to the video about what I have learned. And so we will first talk about vocabulary, and then we will talk about laws of power, then we will talk about positivism, that is in political science, and then we will talk about what I have learned in Spanish. So without further ado, let's begin. So the vocabulary part comes first, and that is, the first word is display. Display means to show something or put something at a place where others will give attention. So that is display. The second word will be distraction. So as I said, I will make the notebook, and I will try to look if I forget the points. So that is here. I'm forgetting the words. So the second word is distraction. So distraction is when something happens that takes your attention away from what you are doing or thinking. So that is distraction. When you're doing something and your attention gets taken away by something, or when you're thinking something, your attention gets taken away by something. So the third word is, what is the third word again? Exquisite. So exquisite. So exquisite is something that is extremely beautiful or pleasant. Something that is extremely beautiful or pleasant is exquisite. So what does exquisite mean? Exquisite means something that is beautiful or pleasant. So that is there. And the other word is flaunt. So what is flaunt? Flaunt is when you show something so that other people can admire it. So showing something that you are proud of, that you have achieved, in order for the public to admire it, that is flaunt. And the other word is hunger. So hunger is a strong craving or the urgent need for something, usually a food, but it can be for anything. How much hungry you are for success, or how much hunger do you have to become this person, become this boxer, whatever. The other word that is there is justice. So what is justice? Justice is a quality or a state of being fair and reasonable. So fair and reasonable, being fair and reasonable is justice. And the other word that is there is, what is the other word? Publicizing. So publicizing is when you show something to the world, when you put something out so that the whole world can see it. Or it can be that showing something in a way so that other people's attention get over it, get to it. And so that is publicizing, showing people something so that you can have their attention over this thing that you are showing. The other thing, the other point that is there is, what is the other point? Superiority. So superiority is this, when something is better than the other. When one thing is better than the other, then that is superiority. The other thing is not a word but an idiom, so I added it into my vocabulary. And the idiom is throwing dust in someone's eye. So what is throwing dust in someone's eye? It means to mislead or deceive, often by obscuring the truth or trying to create confusion so that the other person doesn't know the truth. So that is throwing dust into someone's eye. And the other word, the last word, 10th word that is there, is unconsciously. So what is unconsciously? Unconsciously is when you are not fully aware of doing it. When you are not fully aware of doing something, you were doing it unconsciously. So we have done with the vocabulary. Now coming on to what I have learned in 48 laws of power. And what you have to understand today is that innocence can be used as a weapon. It is often used by people who are at powerful position, or people who are seeking power, or people who are trying to change the power dynamic in relationship. It is everywhere, as I said. So what these people do is they try to portray their image as an innocent person, a person who doesn't have any experience, who lacks experience, who is so pure, so innocent. There are many words for it, but usually these people are very cunning. They are very clever. They are very smart in their game. And this is what you have to understand. You might have seen it. I don't know whether you are a lady or a gentleman, but you might have met someone who seemed innocent at first, but later on you realized their true color, you saw their true colors, what they actually are, and you wouldn't be believing yourself what you are seeing, because now the person has completely changed. And so the code that is there is, the usually the people who display innocence are the least innocent of all. And so you have to be very careful with that. You have to be very careful with the people you are talking to, who are trying to show their innocence, who are trying to seem innocent. They might not actually be innocent. They are just playing, they are just acting, they are just an actor, and the whole world is their stage. So you don't know. The the other point that I want to talk about is that the the there was a time, not very months ago, when I was playing billiards with my friend. And when I got there, I took the stick, and I was playing it after such a long time, that my hands were not set. So I grabbed the stick and I was trying to find my way to pot the ball, but in the beginning I was not able to. And so the competitor, the opponent boys that were there, so me and my friend was playing in a duo. So me and my friend on one side, and the two boys on the other side. They were not my friend. The opponent party was not my friend. And so they were very flaunting. They were very flaunty. They were trying to be arrogant. They were trying to show off that they know the game. They can finish the game in 5 minutes. They are so skilled. They are playing for 2 years and whatnot. And so my friend was getting enraged. He was getting upset by the way they were behaving. And so my friend is very good at playing that game, but I was playing after so long, and so it took me some time to adjust with the game. and And so when I start playing, after some time, I potted 6 ball in a row, back to back. It was twice hat trick, and so everybody was in awe, and that was at the very last of the game. So I had to pot the black ball at the very end, and there were 5 other balls. So 5 plus 1 black is equal to 6, and that was a shot back to back, and that led us to win. And my friend was in awe, the opponent party was in shock, and the one spectator that was watching the game, he was like, I knew it from the beginning when you held this stick. I knew you were very professional. I knew you were very skilled at this game, but you were trying to play innocent. And so after reading this book, I realized what he was talking about. So people who are very skilled try to show that they don't know. They try to play innocent. They try to show that they don't have experience, but they have experience. It was a game of luck. I don't know. I still can do that with that 6 balls straight to straight, but that was mere luck. But we won the game, and my friend was praising me of how well I played, and so it was a very good memory for me, at least, not for those boys, probably. And so you have to be very careful. Don't judge others by what you are seeing. Don't judge a book by its cover. The quote is very apt. The quote is very right. So you don't have to judge a book by its cover, because you don't know what is inside, how much capable that person is. And so, after that, coming on to the political theory. So, I was learning about positivism, and before I talk about positivism, I want to talk about something first, and that is that I want you to imagine a situation where you are passing by, and you saw a sheep, a black sheep, while passing by. You saw a black sheep in the field, and I have to work on my S also. So saw, sheep, saw, and things like that. So I will improve that also. So you saw a sheep in the field. So what you usually will think is that the sheep is black. You saw a black sheep in the field. But thinking from the perspective of positivist, what he would think, or what she would think, is that he was passing by and he saw a sheep whose one side was black. So from the side that the positivist is seeing, that side is black, but he doesn't know about the side that is on the other side. What color is on the other side, he doesn't know, but he only knows that the side that he is watching is black. So that is what positivism is. That is what positivity, what I'm saying, that is what positivist, being positivist mean. So positivism is a way of looking from the vantage point of scientific evidence, scientific method, vantage point of scientific method. And so the positivist, they they the object of study, they study the object that have this object of scientific method. What I'm saying, they so positivism believes that only those subjects or events that can be experienced directly should be the object of scientific inquiry. So only those objects that can be experienced directly should be the object of scientific inquiry. That is what positivism is. And the positivist consciously avoid metaphysical speculations like nature of God, freedom, immortality of the soul, and things like that. So they avoid this metaphysical speculation. And the other thing that you have to understand is that there is a very renowned person, that is there was a very renowned person, French philosopher Auguste Comte, and he is considered the father of positivism, and he is also the founder of sociology and the first philosopher of this first philosopher of science in the modern sense of the word. So, and what he believed is that in order to seek the truth, in order to get to the truth, you need to have this observation and experiment. So, you need to observe it and you have to experiment it in order to seek the truth, in order to get to the truth. And there was this, what was the name, Rappaport, Anatole Rappaport. So, according to Anatole Rappaport, he Comte is right. Comte is right, and that's what the matter is with the sheep. If you will understand, then that is what he is talking about. Positivist, positive. What really is positive? Scientific evidence, scientific data, sense data. So what you are seeing, what are senses? The things you smell, the things you hear, the things you taste, the things you touch, and things like that. So what you are seeing, what your senses are showing to you, that is what you believe, and not the other thing. The things that can be observed, the things that can be seen, that can be experimented. If you come to understand about it, so Comte believed that the only thing that one can be certain of is observation. Public observation, that can be shared by other people, that can be experienced by other people. For example, law of buoyancy. So as you all know, when you put a thing into the water and there is a buoyant force upward, and so the things come upwards, that is law of buoyancy. So it can be publicly observed and it can be observed by everyone, it can be shared by everyone, so you can do the experiment and you can see it. So that comes under positivism, and that is why Comte also believed that in order to know the true nature of the society, in order to see the true nature of the society, one need experiment and observation, statistical data, observation and statistical data, experiment and statistical data. So that has to be there, and this lead Comte to have this opinion that a scientific study of society, a scientific analysis of society can do wonders in order to understand the pathologies of society, of that society. So this is what positivism is, and how you can take the benefit of being on journey of being a billionaire. What I'm saying, I have to have this clarity of thought. So how can you use this positivism while being on your journey as a billionaire? And so the things that you seen, like black sheep, so you are seeing it from one side but you don't know about the other side. So what you see is what you believe, but the law of power says that don't believe everything you see. But at the same time, what I'm trying to make you understand is that there are things that you don't know, and so you don't assume that okay, if this is like this, then that is also like this. If this is black from one side, so it will be black from other side. You don't know. So while you are grabbing this mindset, this is why political theory, political philosophy is very important, because it gives you a way to think, it gives you an understanding, it gives you understanding of the society, it gives you this clarity of expression and thoughts. And so I learned about positivism. I will refine it, but what I understood is what I told you. And so, as a billionaire, as a person, as a business minded person, you don't assume, you just see what is there and you try to make use of it, try to make something good out of it. And so, if for example, if you are about to purchase a company and you see that the stats are going down, the company is going to ashes or whatever, but still you buy it because people said so, because you got this some knowledge that this person is going to buy this company, who is a very renowned person, a very famous person, and so the company will be back on its feet. You don't take that risk until unless it comes from within you. And so don't don't fall into anyone's bluff. You have to be very sensible about that. Use your senses, because positivism focuses on senses, sense data, what can be seen, what can be heard, what can be touched, things like that. So now that we have completed this positivism, now I'm going to talk about what I have learned in Spanish. So I learned few more words in Spanish, and these are like this. So the person, what I'm saying, good. So good is bueno, bueno. Very is muy, and good is bueno. Generous is generoso, generoso, and shy is tímido, tímido, tímido. What is the other word? What is the other word? Lazy. So lazy is perezoso, perezoso, and ambitious is ambicioso, ambicioso, perezoso, lazy. And the other word that is there is handsome. So handsome is guapo, guapo, guapo. And what is the other word? Fantastic. So fantastic is fantastico, fantastico. And shy is tímido, tímido. Honest is, so as you go silent is honesto, honesto. And American is americano, americano. And so now that we have learned few more words, so if I have to say you are very good, so I will say tú eres muy bueno, tú eres muy bueno. If you are a woman, if I have to say you are very good, so I will say tú eres muy buena. Things like that. You are very handsome, so tú eres guapo, tú eres guapo, tú eres guapo. I am enjoying learning Spanish. What can I say? I love the accent. So, and I wouldn't say like to and subscribe. I wouldn't say that, because it's my journey. If you want to do that, you can do that. You are free to do that. But I've decided that I won't say like and subscribe, because it's my journey. It's my life. You are here as a spectator. I don't know, but I'm sure that you will be refining yourself after watching these videos. So all the best.